Hey folks, welcome back. It's been a little bit. It's been really busy. It is so nice out, folks. We're supposed to have like 2 or 3 weeks, at least 2 weeks of at night getting down freezing or below. But during the day, high 50s, 60s. Really nice weather, folks. So I hope you've all been well. For those who have won the seeds, I will be sending them out tomorrow. I'll be sending a few other things out tomorrow while I'm at it. And I'll be checking my post office box, right? Same time. So, there's been a lot going on, but nothing really different. But I do want to talk about role reversal, role change, something that I didn't expect anyway. I've had, the last couple weeks I had 2 conversations. One I initiated out of a general topic that we were talking about. We just got sidetracked. And the other one, a lady brought up. So the first one was talking about this guy that I know. He can't eat too many carbs, and he knew he needed to stock up, and he works like 3 jobs, folks, and he does it, one, because it would drive him crazy to sit around and do nothing. He lives in town. And 3, he said he needs some money, right? Things are going up. And he believes a lot like I do. A lot like I do. And there's a lot of us that believe like I do, right? And he said he thought about buying some freeze-dried goods, like from Augustin Farms or whatever there is out there now. And he said, but he got looking into it, and he said they're so expensive. They're so expensive. And I said, yeah. I said, I think, and I don't know, but I think I know that they package on serving sizes. So I told him, I said, if you get a 7-day supply, that might be 3 meals a day, but they're serving sizes, right? So a lot of you know, or at least some of you know, that serving sizes don't mean squat if you're a hard worker, right? That's not enough food. That's just not enough food. So I said, you can try serving sizes. It'll last you a week for all that money. I said, but if you're doing the work that you've been doing, I said, you're easily going to double that up. So that'll last you, what, 3.5 days? He thought that would be about right. So we stood there for a moment and problem solved how he could get less carbs and more bang for his buck, and how he could stock up a little bit, right? So that was one conversation. The other conversation, I was outside at work just getting some fresh air. It was pretty stale inside, and it was a really down, low time that I just needed to get out and get some fresh air. And another worker came out, and she needed fresh air. Someone from another department, from another agency. And I don't know, we just, she started talking, actually. She started talking about this and this and this, and about history and all of that. She was quite talkative. That's the first time I've seen her, the first time we've ever had a conversation. She was just going, 90 miles an hour. And we got talking about living in the country. And I said, oh, I live in the country. I said, I live, back in the woods a bit. And I run a small homestead. And I live off grid. And that's about all I said. And she said, my daughter. She goes, I don't know who raised my daughter. She goes, well, I know I did. She goes, but I didn't teach her to think the way she does now. And I had to chuckle about that because, you can raise your your kids any way you want, and as they become adults, they form their own opinions on what they see and what they experience, what they listen to, right? So she said, my daughter says I need to start storing more food up. I just can't go to the store when I want something to eat for that week. The week of food isn't long enough. Isn't enough to get through any hard times. She said, so I asked my daughter what she thought was coming for hard times. And she said, Ma, don't you listen to the news? Anything could happen. The world is in chaos, she said. And then she told me that her daughter is very gullible and believes everything that she hears. And she gets on TikTok and she gets on YouTube and she gets on these radio stations. And she goes, they're all conservative, she says. They're all conservative and they're brainwashing her, thinking she has to stock up on food and guard her things. And I just kind of looked at her and smirked. And I didn't say anything. She kept on talking. Then she realized that I was just standing there smirking. And so she stopped right in mid-sentence. I said, I don't think your daughter's very far off in what she's thinking. She goes, oh, she goes, another one. She goes, another one. She goes, I brought my daughter up better than that, she said. And she went on to say that her daughter says that she needs to go somewhere. I can't remember the store. I had never heard of it. And stock up on some food. And she said, so she asked her daughter, she goes, you think America is going to run out of food? She goes, do you really, really, really think that? The daughter says, I don't think we're going to run out of food. She goes, I think we're going to run out of money to be able to afford food. Right? So I kind of changed the subject a little bit, and I told her that I had a garden and a little bit of how I lived, and asked her if she had a garden, and she mellowed out a little bit, and her anxiety went down. I don't no idea what changed that subject, but she wasn't all excited and all pumped up like she was talking a few minutes before that. So she said that her and her husband would like to have a garden, and they kind of scoped her area out and where they could have a garden, and she said she'd have to learn what to grow and how to grow it, and they've never had a garden because they just wanted something. They just ran down to the store. So I said, well, if your daughter is correct and a loaf of bread is going to cost you, I can't remember what I said. I think I only said $10, but, if a loaf of bread is too much to buy, then how is she going to get by? Is she going to be able to afford the gas money to go down and get that one loaf of bread, right? And then the price of the bread on top of that makes that an awful expensive meal, right? So I think the days are gone, for me anyway. Well, I feel like a ham and cheese sandwich. I'll just run down and buy a loaf of bread, go to the deli, get a few slices of ham, a few slices of cheese, and make myself a sandwich. That stuff has to be planned out now. It has to be bought when I'm already in town or going by the store, right? So, I don't know, folks. I don't know. Sometimes the parents may want to listen to their grown adult children. The parents aren't always right. Back when the children are young, the parents were always right? Maybe some parents need to stop and listen to their children. Maybe they will learn something, right? So, it is rather warm. I've been puttering today, and it's actually too warm for this sweatshirt, but it's deer season now, deer hunting season, and well, I'll just wear orange in here. What's it gonna hurt, right? What's it gonna hurt? So, I hope you've all been well, and be good, Be good, and we'll see you next time. Thanks for stopping by. Thank you for all the new subscribers. I really, really appreciate that. And if there's a topic that you would like me to talk about that's not too personal, or showing a walk about my yard, or walk about inside my house, or anything like that, I'd be happy to talk about that, but I'm not going to get too personal. Some people don't understand that. If I have a YouTube channel, I'm kind of wide open. Well, no, that's not the case. I do like my privacy. I like to keep my privacy, and I'll only tell and talk about what I feel comfortable doing so, right? Because that's just the way it is. Just because I have a YouTube channel does not mean that my life is an open book, right? So, thank you. Bye-bye.